Hello and welcome to the HNGamers DayZ Server Watch informational video. In this video I'm going to explain how the DayZ Server Watch software works and how it will work with your server. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load up the DayZ Server Watch software. As it loads, it's going to go through the registry and verify if you have any settings saved. If you have no settings saved, it's going to quickly save those settings and give you a blank template to work with. It is my suggestion that you open your config files for your DayZ server and step through the process of configuring this with those config files open so that you can compare your existing config file with the ServerWatch software. On the first page of the server software, which is the program informational page, you'll notice the program log, and these are just basically all of the logs that occur when the server starts. It's indicating that it failed to load any backups because there are no backups, and it's loaded each one of the individual settings. This is a production server, so therefore we will have settings within our application. On the server control tab, all of these buttons work except for the start check cycle and stop check cycle, which are currently a work in progress. If you click either one of those, it will start a cycle of the server. However, it will not start or stop the server if it does fail. On the server settings tab, you have all of the settings within your server config, your ARMA2 config, you have a bandwidth requirements setting, your BattlEye settings, your beta settings for which version of DayZ you're running, and your server control settings, which are the actual settings for the server. You'll notice that there are some settings that are missing out of the config files. That's because what we are doing is we're actually building all of those settings from what you provide here and placing them into the appropriate config files for when the server launches. So don't worry about a missing setting that looks like it's missing within the application, because it's really not. On the profiles settings, you have everything that is within the profile config file for your ARMA2 OA server. You'll notice that it has a difficulty settings tab, which shows recruit, regular, veteran, expert, and custom. If you choose any one of these, it will automatically load up the default settings for that appropriate version or that appropriate difficulty. And if you choose custom, it will load up what is ever in your settings that you have saved. The players, bands, database, and server broadcast tabs are currently works in progress, and they do not function. The file downloads tab does function, and the missions tab just has the individual mission. The file downloads tab is where you will download all of your settings and all of your files. This will download your latest BattlEye version, it will download the latest DayZ version. You can back up, restore backups, and update the DayZ server from this tab. You'll notice that it is downloading all of these files at this point in time, and it's downloading them from cdn.armafiles.info/latest. That server does have these files that are listed here, and this is what the get latest DayZ file is downloading. If you click the Save Settings button or the Get Latest BattlEye files, it will download the latest BattlEye version. So at any point in time, if you need to get that, just click that, or come in and actually click the Save Settings tab, a button. The Backup button does exactly that. It backs up the server itself, the DayZ folder, the Hive folder, and your profile folder. And you'll notice that once you click Backup, it will indicate that it has successfully backed up the files. Those backup files do go into the HNGamers Backups folder, which will reside in the folder that you place the ServerWatch software in. Once you have clicked Backup and it has completed, that backup will appear within the backup location so that you can click Restore and it will restore those files. If we open this file, you'll notice that it does have the Hive and DayZ folders in there. While we wait for the the download to work, let me explain what's going to occur when you click the Start button to start the server. It's going to go through all of the config files that you have set on all of your settings tabs. And once it has verified and compiled all of those settings, it will create the config files, verify that those config files have been created, and then if they have been created, it will launch the server at that point in time. Clicking Stop Server will stop the server's process from running, but not actually send a restart or shutdown command to the server. This will physically kill the server in the event that the server has locked up. This Stop Server button will also delete any config files that were created prior to starting the server. Clicking Restart Server or Shutdown Server will actually send the restart or shutdown commands to the server to physically shut it down from within the BattlEye server itself. Back on the File Downloads tab, we can see that the progress bar has completed and it is stationary, and that all of our files have completed downloading. At this point, we can click Update on the application and wait for the application to actually update the server. Once it has updated the server and extracted all of the files that it downloaded within this download folder, the software will actually return back and indicate that it has done so. And you can see here that it has finally returned back and it says unpacked the file, where it was unpacked to, or which file was unpacked and whether it was successful or not, and where it was unpacked to. At that point in time, the server is 100% up to date, and all we need to do is simply come in and click on Start Server. At this point in time, you're going to see that it has created the BattlEye scripts, it has created the configs, and it is beginning to load the game server itself. Once this has completed, your server is up and running and operational. We can send commands to the server at that point in time once we have logged into the server properly. Thank you very much for watching this video, and look forward to more updates from the DayZ ServerWatch software. We look forward to having you use it. Thanks, and have a great day.